Hello, welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm, of course, your host, David I'm Playing Huffman. Right there, Mr. Israel Rivera, CEO of Prime Sports World. My co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins. And this is the second audible that we've had to do on shows for today because the NBA decides it wants to do breaking news all the time. We were planning on doing the Royal Rumble recap after the Jey Uso won that Royal Rumble last night. But now we got to talk about the mega trade of Luka Doncic. And then just about 10 minutes ago, the Chicago Bulls and Sacramento Kings and San Antonio Spurs greeted us with another bombshell. So, yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we're going to be with you for the entire NBA season. Usually Izzy hosts the crossover episodes because I just haven't had time to watch the NBA so much this season. So we'll have to do a lot of the talking. I'm just going to host and guide him through it. I'm more of the contract stuff guy, free agency stuff. So that's kind of my bread and butter. But gentlemen, happy Sunday. How is everybody?
Still processing.
I'm in a super good mood. So I went to the Royal Rumble last night in Indianapolis. Man, it was incredible. I cannot tell you how much fun that was.
I bet you did have lots of fun, man.
What happened to your voice, man? What happened to your voice? What were you doing?
Dude,
you're so distraught about the Chicago Bulls. Your voice just done.
All that, yeah, probably, bro. Like, I've been sick the last. Everybody's got that little bug going around, floating around here. So I lost my voice a little bit, guys. But yeah, man, we're me and TJ are processing this.
Let's get into it. Obviously, we originally planned on doing the Luka Doncic breakdown, but now we got to talk about this Zach LaVine, De'Aaron Fox mega deal. So this is what's been reported that I've seen on the internet. This has not been quote unquote confirmed yet. So yeah, some of this information is wrong.
Yes,
I apologize. I have this is what I got. The Kings are going to get Zach LaVine along with the 2025 Charlotte first-round pick. I do not know if there's protections on that or not. They get the 2027 San Antonio first-round pick, and then they get that Minnesota 2031 first-round pick that the Spurs got from this most recent draft in the was it Ty Dillingham? They took that guard. To Kentucky. They also got 3 second-round picks as part of this trade. Spurs, they get De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Bulls are going to get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and then they're going to get their own pick in 2025 back from San Antonio that the Spurs own as part of that DeMar DeRozan trade from, I don't even know, a while ago. These details have just kind of merged. Let's talk about it a little bit. What do we think?
I'm sick to my stomach, bro.
Literally. For him,
literally. Well, yeah, for me, literally and figuratively, yeah.
It's ridiculous. The guy just eclipsed 10,000 points in a Bulls uniform. He's top 5 in every Bulls offensive category. This is me personally. I wouldn't have traded him. Like I was literally talking.
You could make the argument. You can make the argument that Zach LaVine, just looking at his numbers, like just stat wise, he's having one of his best seasons as a pro. I mean, he's been efficient. He's been super efficient from the 3-point line. Like his numbers have been solid. Like this feels like you're selling low on a guy who's like a borderline all-star this season.
I was literally talking to my brother and my cousin last night. I'm like, hey, don't make a deal for the sake of making a deal. I'm like,
this is exactly what this is.
Garpax was famous for that shit, just making the deal to make a deal so they can see like, hey, see Bulls fans, we did something. And this is like not only is that it's not getting what you could have got. It's like it's what David said, like you sold yourself short. You could have gotten a lot more.
This is what I look. This is where I look at it, because there's gonna be some more. There's gonna be somebody else on the move, and I'll tell you who else is gonna be on the move, and that's Nikola Vucevic.
For sure, 100%.
He'll be on the move, and TJ, We already know. We talk about it daily about how good this
I would be shocked if he's a Laker by tomorrow.
look, David. Me and TJ talk about how good this draft class is at the top 5 of the draft class. You got Cooper Flag. You got the 2 kids from Rutgers, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, and then you got the kid VJ Edgecombe from Baylor, who's been drawing comparisons to D Wade, who's another sensational freshman. So right now, it just seems like the Bulls are saying, okay, we're not going to go anywhere far with this roster. I'll even be surprised. I'll even, look at the Lonzo Ball might be in the package too, at some point. But right now they're going super young. I think.
Lonzo Ball's got an expiring contract now, so he's in the final year of his contract.
Dude,
so he's pretty tradable right now.
He's gone, and he's been playing. He looks real. TJ, you watched the game today against the Pistons? He had 13 points.
I don't have that channel, so I can't.
Damn,
I haven't been able to watch Bulls.
I'll be streaming this shit. But
don't give me a lot of people be doing that.
Dude, Lonzo Ball he's every game. His shot looks better. He looks healthier. He's playing defense. Like, he's looking really good. So, like, he can be an asset to a team coming off the bench. Obviously, we're not going to trade Kobe White. We're not going to trade Josh Giddey. We're not going to trade, obviously, Matas Bucelis. We're getting young guys.
Josh Giddey's on an expiring contract too.
I saw an article, not an article, but I forgot who the notification was. I think it was KC Johnson. They basically said, like, hey, we open for business. Like, unless your name is Matas Bucelis, you are on the block.
Yeah, you're on the block.
But I think also, like, for the Bulls, like, just saying with the Bulls, and then we'll switch gears back to the other side. Like, getting that pick back from San Antonio is huge. Like, because it was top 10 protected, I think, up in this upcoming draft. And, like, so, like, if the Bulls were to finish, like, outside the lottery, but not, like, bottom out, like, that's still a potential here with the landscape of the Eastern Conference. Like, they've already won maybe too many games to get into the top 5 or top 10. But but now that they don't have to worry about that pick potentially going to San Antonio, I think that's huge. Like, it doesn't feel like an intangible asset because you're getting your own draft pick back, but I think that's a huge asset. And I was technically wrong when I was talking in the group chat earlier. Those 2 of those contracts that they got, Zach Collins and Kevin Huerter, are not expiring. Kevin Huerter has 1 more season, and so does Zach Collins. Trey Jones is an expiring deal, but he doesn't make a whole ton of money. So I mean, I
like Kevin Huerter because the what we call him, dude he gives you shooting.
Yeah.
He gives you some perimeter defense. Yeah. I could care less about Zach Collins. I could care less about Trey Jones. Those guys will be coming off the bench, playing 15 minutes or so. Whatever. This is that. Those two guys aren't in the future plans. But I do like Kevin. I do like Kevin Huerter shooting, and I do like the fact that we're finally saying, look. One thing I will say, it does suck that we're trading away our guys. But one thing I do like though, TJ, is that we're finally showing a direction, right? We're not staying in purgatory.
See,
we're not staying as just competitive to fill the stands. We're tanking. We're tanking, guys.
It only works if they trade off some more of the stuff on their roster. Like, if they keep Vucevic or Lonzo Ball past the deadline, it doesn't feel like a rebuild.
No, those 2 guys are gone. We're tanking, David.
At the same time, like, so I also saw the top 10 team, like the top 10 teams that sell the most merch. Guess who was at number 5?
Awesome.
Us.
Like, of course.
So, like, and I'm on Twitter.
And attendance.
Us.
We're number 1 in attendance.
Right. Number 1 in attendance.
Yeah.
I saw that shit on Twitter, and I'm like, y'all see that team at number 5? That's exactly why Jerry Reinsdorf don't make moves.
Yep, 100%.
He is perfectly content being number 1.
Still riding those 90s coattails for sure.
Top 5 in merch, but it's my bigger issue here is because I was looking at the mock drafts aren't updated daily, and I kind of hate that. So like I'm looking at Bleacher Report, their latest mock draft was 5 days ago. That's pretty recent, all things considered. The right now, right now, the Bulls had at the time of this mock draft, the Bulls had 19 wins. That was top 10. You're at 9. But if you look at, like you said, David, like they may have already won too many games to be considered a top 5 pick when you consider the teams that have the losses that they do. Charlotte is terrible. The Nets are terrible. Toronto's terrible.
Yeah, I mean the Bulls are sitting right now. They're the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're 21-28. If the draft were to start today, they would have the 11th pick. And if
Like
they
OKC gets another
something like
top 10 pick because of Philly. They because of the Paul George trade.
so if they end up if they end up at the 11th pick before this trade, obviously, if they had ended up with the 11th pick, that pick would have gone to San Antonio. Like I think that's an underrated aspect of this deal. Like, yeah, it sucks to trade Zach LaVine for what doesn't feel like a lot of value, but being able to keep your first round pick and what is supposedly a deep, supposedly a deep draft class.
I just look at this team. And I remember before Lonzo Ball remember before the good times when Lonzo Ball got hurt and he was on the shelf for 2 years, and this team looked so good with Lonzo Ball when he was healthy, and the defense was looking so great.
Washington has what?
We were
10 wins?
We were top 3 in the East.
Washington's got 7 wins.
Great. Dude, they just broke those 16. They just broke like a 16-game.
Washington got so if I'm Cooper Flag right now, like, hey,
I don't want to go to Washington.
But you ain't got a choice in the matter. You're preparing for life in DC. You're looking up apartments in DC. If you're right now, it has this mock draft has Dylan Harper going to Utah at number 2. I don't like that because, like, why do you need another guard in Utah? You already have 50 million guards.
You got Isaiah Collier. You got Con Sexton. You got Keontae
Let's switch gears. Let's swing over to the other sides of this trade. Enough of what we know about the Bulls until we're green in the face, and I'm sure you guys will do that when we talk more about the trade deadline on Wednesday. Let's talk about the San Antonio side of this. You obviously get the best player in the draft. You get to pair Victor Wembanyama with De'Aaron Fox. He's going to be eligible. He may not be eligible for the same extension anymore because of him being traded now. So I'm not exactly sure.
It changes.
Because I know Luka that Luka Doncic trade cost him $116 million.
Cost him some M's.
But so De'Aaron Fox comes over to San Antonio. They're a fringe playoff team right now. If the playoffs were to start now, they're 21-25. So they would not even make the play-in. They're currently the 12th seed in the Western Conference. What does this do for them? Do we think that they can make a serious run this season, or is this a move for future San Antonio Spurs teams like next year?
It's a bad. If you're the Kings, you got to roll in because the Spurs were adamant, like, hey, Stephon Castle will not be a part of this deal.
Well, I think that's why they got the Chicago Bulls involved. Like they were like, hey, well, let's get the Bulls involved. That way we get a player that can still keep us competitive this season.
But at the same time, if I'm Sacramento. If I can't get the pack, y'all know me. I am adamant. If I can't get the package I want, we don't have a deal.
Because we talked about this before. Like the Sacramento Kings did not have to trade De'Aaron Fox today. Like they could have kept him next season. He was still under contract for another year and a half. And yes, maybe their leverage goes down the longer they wait. But they didn't exactly get a King's ransom here. They got Zach LaVine and they got 3 first-round picks. That Charlotte one is interesting because it is the upcoming draft. I have no idea what protections are on it. I can't imagine it's just unprotected. I'm not actually. I'm also not sure where it's coming from. Who has that pick right now? Because Charlotte isn't in this trade, so
Like I am adamant. Like, bro, like
the Spurs must have had that pick. I think, David.
I mean, he must have. I mean, that's the only thing they could have. But
I want us to find. Like, if I want to find Castle and you're like, no, he's not going to be a part of this. Guess what? We don't have a deal. Like. What's the point? Like you got a bunch of guards. Excuse me, you got a bunch of guards there too. You got Keldon Johnson, you got Devin Vassell, you got Malachi Branham, who just doesn't like play for whatever reason. Yeah. He's buried. Like he is beyond buried. Like I'd be surprised to see him standing on there.
Yeah, I think the
The
starting
Hornets.
lineup for the Spurs, is definitely going to be De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle.
I'm looking at it
I
right
think
now.
they
You
have,
want it? You want to hear it?
I think they have Champagne probably playing.
Nope. You want to hear it?
Champagne, no, go ahead.
It's gonna
'Cause
be
I
four
think
guards. It's gonna be four guards and Wemby. It's gonna be Paul, Fox, Vassell, Castle, and Wemby. That's gonna be their starting five.
that's not going to be formidable.
So that Hornets pick is top 14 protected. I'm not even remotely sure
They're
where.
not. The Hornets suck.
They not so
Yeah,
you're not so at the end of the day, you're not even getting it. You're not even
They're
getting
not
that
getting
pick.
that pick.
so
You're not getting that pick.
but I think that pick is unprotected in 2026, which still could be a valuable asset because we don't expect the Hornets to all of a sudden become good.
I expect LaMelo Ball not to be on that team for too long.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty wild. That I would think that CP would come off the bench and kind of get that second unit going, as opposed to kind of because you got to think about it. When they got Stephon Castle, they were grooming him to be the point guard of the future, right? But now you got De'Aaron Fox now, and so now you kind of like, okay, now Stephon Castle, we see you as more or less. We've always seen you as a combo guard. We know we wanted to groom you as the point guard of the future, but now we got our cornerstone franchise point guard in De'Aaron Fox. So now you can play the shooting guard, the combo guard position, and you can just wreak havoc on defense and do what you do. Stephon Castle is an excellent high IQ basketball player for his age. And then you throw in CP3, who's obviously a veteran laden guy. So I like what the San Antonio Spurs have done, but I just think that on the wing, you're going to need a little bit more size, a little bit more length on the wing when it comes to like, say you got to go against the Clippers. Say you got to go against
Thunder.
the Mavericks or the Thunder. Those guys have size on the wings. J-Dub's going to eat. Guys like PJ Washington, they're going to eat. You know what I mean? Klay Thompson's going to eat. Those teams have size. Kawhi Leonard, the way he's been playing, Jesus Christ, he's going to eat, bro, against your team.
When he plays.
I mean, when he does play, he's looking pretty damn good.
When he plays.
He's looking pretty damn good, TJ. He's looking pretty damn good this year.
I personally, I'm a big.
that.
I like this trade for the San Antonio Spurs. The Sacramento Kings thing, I think, is the Sacramento side is a little head scratch for me, for real. If you're going to trade away your best player, you think you're going to go into like a rebuild, but this doesn't feel like a rebuild type trade. It feels like they're going to try to still make a run at this because Zach LaVine basically replaces De'Aaron Fox, and you still have DeMontis Sabonis unless you try to move him before the deadline.
They technically don't really have a legit, like Davion Mitchell is like their only legit point because I don't really consider
Davion Mitchell isn't on this
he ain't
team.
even there.
Davion Mitchell been in Toronto for a hot minute.
He's in Toronto.
Or
Anyway,
something like that.
Something like that. Malik Monk can't handle the ball. But
is Devin Carter a guard?
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the roster right now. You know what I mean? It's just like they don't have a point guard there. Like he was the legit only point guard, and so now it's like who's gonna run the point for them? I know Sabonis is pretty much he comes and initiates the offense, comes up the court.
On ESPN, they got Malik Monk as their starting point guard, with Zach LaVine playing the 2, DeMar DeRozan playing the 3, and Keegan Murray at 5 or 4, and then Sabonis at 5. And then they got Devin Carter and Keon Ellis as their backup.
Keon Ellis, not working, bro. That's not working, dude. It's not working, dude.
And I also think what's his name? I also think DeMar is on the expiring deal, so you don't expect him to stay in Sacramento past this season.
No, actually, DeMar DeRozan's got one more fully guaranteed season next year, and then he's got a partially guaranteed contract for 26-27. Because you remember he just signed that contract extension this most recent offseason in that sign and trade with the Bulls. So I think he'd be tough to move. And he hasn't. I mean, he's been okay. He's been DeMar DeRozan, but he has been.
He's been DeMar DeRozan. But we know the knock on DeMar DeRozan. It depends on who you talk to. It's a good knock or a bad knock, but we know the knock on DeMar DeRozan. But just to bring it back to Chicago real quick, it may not be the haul that we as Bulls fans wanted. But David, you brought up a great point. Like us getting that first round pick back is massive because, like you said, like you have a 2025 pick from Charlotte, Sacramento, that's top 14 protected. You're not getting that pick. Like that's not going to you at all.
At least not yet.
That's right now. You're not getting that pick. As of right now, you're not getting that pick.
Nope.
Something insane would have to happen for you to like
for you to get that. So it's like, but like, here's the thing. So like, if you're AK, like, so like, and we've known this too. Like the Zach LaVine talks have been going on for a while now, right?
I mean, you can make the argument if he doesn't have surgery last season, he's probably not.
He's probably gone. He's probably already. But here's the thing: like, what they also wanted the Bulls to attach future assets to any kind of deal, and credit to AK for saying, no, I'm not giving up anything else just to move him. So credit to AK for doing that, and credit him it may just be one first round pick, and it may be our first round pick. We get our pick back, but we got a first round pick back.
It's huge.
And we're sending a second round pick to our second round pick to Sacramento. That's from Casey Johnson.
Yeah. So we'll see how this trade ends up panning out as we continue to kind of digest it. It's really only been about 20 minutes since this news broke. Let's go to what the main attraction is, the trade that we were was going to be the centerpiece of this show, the Luka Doncic Anthony Davis swap. The Lakers get Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. The Mavericks get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the Lakers' first-round pick in 2029. The Jazz are here just to make the money work, I think, because I don't really know why they're in the trade. I'm pretty sure that's it. They get Jalen Hood-Schifino and 2 second-round picks, one from the Clippers and one from Dallas. Man, so how did this trade come about? And like thoughts on this on both sides? And is this the craziest trade in NBA history? Like, usually when a star like of this caliber of a Luka Doncic gets traded, you usually hear a lot of conversation about like he's unhappy, he wants to leave, and then all of a sudden he was gone.
It definitely topped the Paul George trade because at the time,
yeah. I mean,
because at the time, Paul George. No, so it's two. You got Kawhi getting traded to Toronto.
No, I guess where he went,
Kawhi getting traded to Toronto was like, really, like 30 NBA teams. That's where you send Kawhi Leonard, and we already know what happened. And then Paul George getting traded to
the Clippers.
OKC or the Clippers?
No, getting traded to the Clippers. This absolutely tops either one of those.
Man, I was like getting back to my Airbnb last night after the Royal Rumble, and like the crazy thing is like Shams had to like put up multiple tweets, and like I don't know if you heard the Devin Booker story. He was playing a game in Portland, and like
the Portland bench was like they reacted.
Like somebody in the crowd like yelled at Devin Booker on while they were in the game. At least that's what I heard. I watched AM Hoops a little bit this morning or the afternoon after I got back from the Rumble, and like he was like, yeah, somebody yelled at Devin Booker that trade happened at mid game, like just nuts.
Yeah, it did. So I was watching that game. And the commentators were like, "Oh, we think Shams Charanya's Twitter handle got hacked because this can't be real." Yeah, like they were legit. Like they were legit saying, "We think Shams Charanya's Twitter handle just got hacked because." This trade can't be real. This trade can't be real at all.
The Gobert trade, in terms of what was given up to get him, that shock value was Cat's trade to New York was kind of shocking.
This Trump in the middle of the season on a random Saturday, like even before the trade deadline. This blew me away.
I will tell you this. David Stern would never allow this trade to happen if he was still alive. Because remember what happened with Chris Paul.
No, but here's where this is different. the league, the NBA owned the Hornets because they didn't have a principal owner. These guys, these organizations have principal owners. So David Stern would could he really veto that?
No, he
Probably
couldn't.
not.
He couldn't have.
He
The only
couldn't have.
reason the only reason they were able to do that with that Hornet situation is because they owned the team.
They were the de facto. So it comes out right. Like obviously, like once all the clarification comes out, Shams is like, no, this is 1,000, like not 100%, 1,000% real. Like he had to like this is 1,000% real. This is happening. So once that clears and everybody's like, oh my God, Tim McMahon comes out and says they being the Mavericks had issues with Luka's weight. They say he pushing 270. Just for reference, Joel Embiid is about 6-7 inches taller than Luka. He's also 270 pounds, and we see how that's playing out for him.
Well,
right?
they say a lot of his calf type injuries are all kind of like
weight related,
and like his conditioning.
So, and I shared that in the group chat last night. So it's like, and I said it. Hey, apparently Luka was on some fat shit. He pushing 270, and they are tired of. I mean, is he laughing? He coughing?
Yeah. I think they were concerned with it turning into a Zion Williamson situation,
which is also fair because it's like, bro, like you won't. This ain't and these max deals that's coming down.
But Zion Williams didn't take the Mavs. He didn't take his franchise to the NBA Finals either.
But that's also true. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it still comes down to what your best ability is. What
I mean, yeah, he's only played 22 games. He's only played 20 games this season.
Your availability is your best ability. I get that, PJ. I understand that, but this man literally just took y'all.
That's where I'm split on it. Like 8 months ago, you were in the NBA Finals. Now, don't get me wrong. Like you had no shot in hell at winning that NBA Finals. Let's call it a spade. Like it was nice. Y'all got there, but hey, let's be real.
Boston was getting that shit.
Boston was getting that shit. Boston was going to get
This year though, bro.
I mean, the West is wide open right now.
Everything's wide open. We don't know who's gonna win the NBA championship. Like last year, we knew like Boston was just a freaking. They were just crazy good.
They just head and shoulders above, bro. They
about everybody. But now this year, it's all open.
But let's also not pretend like Luka hasn't been like historically good so far in his career. He's 25 years old. He's one of 3 players in the NBA in the history of the league that averaged 25, 7, and 7 in his first 5 years in the league. He joined Oscar Robertson, LeBron James, Luka. That's it.
Hey,
he's
David.
Third all time in scoring.
Dude, he's got five first team NBAs too. Like, and look, let's just put this out there. Okay,
he's an MVP candidate. This is like
every year.
If you want to trade Luka Doncic away, fine. It's okay.
He's the NFL's Josh Allen. He's the NFL's Josh Allen.
This is just not enough. Like if you want to trade Luka Doncic away,
I need 6 first-round picks.
You want to trade Luka Doncic away? Go ahead. No problem.
I need your first-round pick. No, fuck that, David. I need your first-round pick for the next 10, 15 years, right, TJ? Because I just gave away my franchise player. That's like this pretty much might set us back for 10, 15 years. Like, bro, I need your first round pick for the next 10, 15 years.
Hey,
I need your next 10 first round picks.
Right, so here's the
thing. You're only allowed to trade like 4 first round picks at max.
I know. But
so here's the thing. I'm on Facebook last night and I'm all like, yo, this is a dumbass trade for both ends. I said that in the group chat. I'm like, yo, I'm like really thinking about it. I'm like, yo, this is a dumbass. Man,
this is a slam dunk trade for the Lakers. I'm sorry, dude.
It's not though. No. Think about it. It's in actuality, it's a slam dunk trade for the Mavericks, bro. Kyrie and AD Kyrie
in the short term, sure, but
Short
look
term.
at Doncic isn't even in his prime yet. Like he's not even in his prime. Like he's only going to get better.
I'm not David. He's 25 years old. He is absolutely 100% in his
27 is where
look, dude.
You're in your
Now,
prime from 27 to 33.
Look,
No.
Dallas has a 3 to 4 right now. What Dallas is saying, and that GM is sitting up there lying his fucking face off.
Hey, real talk.
Talking about defense win championships, bro. The NBA hasn't played defense in years. Anyways,
15 years, bro.
Dude, this is a 3. This is a 3. This is what Dallas is saying, TJ. We have a 3 to 4 year championship window.
I said that when they lost to Boston. I said that when they lost to Boston. I gave them 3 years.
Yeah, but after those 3 years, after those 3-4 years, bro.
Because I also think that this helps.
But if you're the Lakers, if you're the Lakers, who do you have to like? All right, so
Luka.
And who else? And who else?
I mean, you didn't have to trade away all your assets. They still have a 2031. They still have a 2031 draft pick at their disposal.
David, that's 6 years from now.
Bro,
Yeah, but I mean,
dude, let's not act like Austin Reeves ain't gotten better every single year.
I think he's gone.
When is he gone?
Is he?
Not this year.
He's kind of irrelevant now.
If Austin Reeves is your second best player, you ain't going far. No disrespect. It's no disrespect to Austin Reeves because I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying
I think Austin Reeves will be traded before the deadline.
If you're the Lakers, no. If you're the Lakers,
because they need a big. They have to. Like,
they absolutely need a big. If you're the Lakers,
who is their big? Who's playing the 5 for them?
Jackson Hayes.
Oh man, come on.
If you're the Lakers, if you're the Lakers, you better pray. You better pray, and I mean pray hard. Pray to whatever deity. Pray for whatever deity you believe in that Luka signs an extension. You better pray that Luka signs with it.
I mean, he's under contract for 2 more seasons after this. So as long as they put a competent team and he likes being in LA,
Genie Bus will put it together.
But this trade did cost him $116 million.
You better absolutely pray,
dude. Going back to Austin Reeves, when they had Jalen Brunson in the Mavs. On the Mavs roster, let's not act like those two guys couldn't coincide. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie, I know that Luka needs.
But those Mavericks team didn't have a LeBron James on the roster.
I know to steal all the
I would be more like not the other issue that they have is like they don't have a point guard either really right now on this roster. Like Austin,
they don't need a point guard. They don't need a point guard.
They got Luka and they got LeBron.
I think if they're going to try to trade Austin Reeves in that 2031 first round pick, and I think they're going to try to get
I think they've been shopping these 2 picks. What is it, 2027 and 2029 for the last 5 years?
Yeah, so they traded 2027 as part of the D'Angelo Russell trade, If I'm
the Chicago Bulls, I want Dalton Connect. In any trade, if I'm giving you Vooch, who damn near just had a triple-double today.
He had a triple-double.
Today. Brother, I want Dalton Connect, and I want Rui Hachimura or Austin Reeves. That's the bottom line. That's the 2 players I want for Vucevic. You can have them after that. You know what I'm saying? I need Dalton Connect, though. I need Dalton Connect. You can keep your son, Bronny. And we know he ain't going nowhere.
If you're gonna put a grade on this trade on both sides as we start to wrap up the show here, let's talk about the Lakers side of this. If you were to grade,
it's an A.
It's an A.
It's an A for the Lakers, and it's a short term for the Mavericks. It's an A because Anthony Davis fits seamlessly because you got to think they didn't give up much. They didn't give up what they gave up. Luka
Up a
Doncic,
damn
but
thing.
they didn't give up the other guys. They didn't give up like Daniel Gafford. They didn't give up Derek Lively. They
Yeah, I
didn't
mean, you
give
could,
up.
I mean,
You still got
Anthony
Williams.
Davis, Anthony Davis asked for a center to like the Lakers to trade for a center so he can play the four. What do they do? They
And
trade
they're
him
like,
away.
they
They
traded
traded him away.
they
They traded him
traded him
away
they
for a
traded
team
him to
that
a
got
team
two centers.
with two centers.
With two centers. So it's like, dude. So it's like it's in short term for the Mavericks. It's an A. Long term for the Mavericks. It's an F. It's an F for the Mavericks. Long term.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's an F.
Long
It's an
term.
F. It's an F.
Long
It's an F.
term. Long term. It's
You know what
an F
also?
because
You know what also? You know what also is crazy? Like, who would have thought in any world that Luka Doncic would get traded before Trae Young?
Well, that's or Jimmy Butler.
That's new
Or
ownership.
Jimmy Butler at
Like,
that.
oh,
Or
hey,
Jimmy
that's
Butler.
this, and I am upset that this has to be said and clarified. Everybody is killing Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's not the majority owner anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
hasn't.
doesn't have
He
a
hasn't
say-so
been.
in
He
shit.
hasn't been in 2 seasons.
Like
Yeah,
Mark,
he doesn't have a
like,
say-so in shit. I'm pretty sure.
So everybody is like, Mark Cuban, like, what are you doing? Like, Mark Cuban is not calling the shots. They're like, he owns 27%. In what world does
That's
27
minority.
outweigh 73?
That's minority owner. First of all, Mark Cuban used to make.
Well, I
those
mean,
decisions
the
as a
thing
GM.
is, when you became like the face of you became the face of your own franchise. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
So look, this is what Mark. Look. CJ, David. Look, Mark Cuban's probably sitting back like he's pissed off right now. Probably. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like, this shit is ridiculous. Like I had Dirk for all these years and I built around Dirk Nowitzki. I even got rid of Steve Nash and I built around Dirk Nowitzki and I got a championship.
Michael
Like
Family.
this guy was our Dirk Nowitzki. He just got rid of him. Like I'm pretty sure he's pretty irate right now, but at the same time he can't do anything about it. And when he did call the shots, he would have never traded Luka.
Not for a million fucking years.
Not for a million years. He would have never traded Luka. So for this GM to come out, oh, defense wins championships, dude, shut the hell up. The
Bro,
NBA hasn't played
Luka
defense in forever, bro.
Luka has also not returned any of his calls. Like, it is what it is. Like, hey, it's a business move, bro. Like, I remember when AI got traded from Philly to Denver. And he's doing that interview. I forgot who doing the interview, and the guy on Sports Center was like, I'm gonna say a name and you just tell me how you feel. And he names the GM of Philly at the time. He like, somebody I used to work for. Name the head coach of the 76ers at the time, somebody I used to play for. Like, was
it Larry Brown still?
I know. I think by that point Larry Brown was gone.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, it's been a crazy. The NBA trade deadline. What is the actual trade deadline? Is it the 11th?
February 7th.
Yeah, it's like 5 days now.
Yeah, so it's like Thursday
night. So yeah, it's only man. The NBA trade season is heating up as we have 2 blockbuster trades in the last 24 hours. But yeah, we broke that stuff down for you here today. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World as trade season.
Before we go, like the one domino that everybody was expecting to fall that hasn't failed yet is Jimmy Butler. Does the Jimmy Butler domino fall now?
I mean, I'm not sure where he goes. I think
the only team that's really been talking to them about it is Phoenix, and
the only way
for whatever reason they just can't come to an agreement.
So real talk, the only way that those 2 teams can make a trade is if Bradley Beal's involved, and the only way they can get Bradley Beal involved is if he agrees to trade his no trade clause. And I'm not sure that's going to happen.
But you hear,
and I know they're like they put him on the bench to like make him miserable.
You hear one day, you hear one day like, oh, he will agree to a trade, then it's like, oh, this fell apart, and then but it's like. But he's waiving his no trade clause to go here and all this other stuff. And it's, first off, me personally, Jimmy Butler ain't worth this much of a fucking headache. Like, that's just me.
If I was the Miami Heat, I would just trade him whoever gives us the best offer. I don't care if you want to go there or not. We'll send you to Washington. Probably care.
For all I give
this has been the headache of the life of the century, and they're not going to be. They have they have no bargaining power whatsoever.
Bro, you want to know what? Since I'm
just
on
to talk about. Go ahead.
Since I'm on the NFL comparison to, like, you know what this reminds me of? Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Because I do that.
He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Okay, hey, look.
You may not like it, but he ain't wrong.
I know, but look, Jimmy Butler. The worst thing is happening to Jimmy Butler when you are viewed as a cancer in a way as a cancer, but a guy that is just not, that is a selfish guy, a guy that when you suspend somebody indefinitely because they just want to do their own thing and they don't have a good track record with franchise after franchise after franchise because of their own doing, that's a problem. No team is gonna want to sign Jimmy Butler on a long-term deal.
Not to mention, who is he going to war against?
Oh, he's going to war against a guy that's got cha-ching, ring.
He going to war against the Don. LeBron James couldn't win against Pat Riley.
Dude, he's going to war. He's going to war against the Costa Nostra right now.
Like LeBron James couldn't win. Like Heat fans swear up and down that LeBron James did not want Eric Spoelstra fired after that first season. It's documented. Yes, he did. He wanted Spo gone, and Pat Riley told him, "Hey, this is the coach. Damn it, make it work."
But yeah, we're going to be crossover. We'll be back on Wednesday as we preview the NBA trade deadline. This is us breaking down these last two trades. We will give you our Super Bowl preview on Tuesday night.
And this is from Brian Windhorst. All right,
this shit is ridiculous. It's crazy that we talk about
Brian. The Heat, Jimmy Butler is unwilling to sign an extension with the Warriors, and trade talks to send him to Golden State have ended for now.
This guy's ridiculous, David. This guy's ridiculous, bro. This guy's ridiculous.
Brian
Remember
Windhorst.
when Noah? I think Noah said it. Noah said that Jimmy Butler got Hollywood real quick after when Derrick Rose got hurt,
I remember.
and Jimmy Butler became the man. Joakim Noah said, "Man, this guy became Hollywood. He got big-headed and continues to be big-headed. Ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Because I ain't never seen somebody sit 30 games and then all of a sudden he just, we know what Jimmy Butler does in the playoffs. What, lose?
Eventually,
he's gone to the finals that he lost. Like, he's gone to two finals that he had no shot in hell of winning.
I mean, he did a hell of a job in the bubble final, but nobody really considered.
Bro, he was cooked.
A real final.
Yeah,
he's going against LeBron. He's never beaten LeBron in the playoffs.
He was cooked. Like they won that one game in Game 4, and it took everything.
No, he won 2 games. They won 2.
Yeah, I think they won 5-2, and then they got beat down in Game 6.
They won 2. They lost in 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways. But yeah, we'll be back here next week. Monday, breaking down Royal Rumble. Tuesday, breaking down the Super Bowl. Wednesday, breaking down the NBA trade deadline. So you don't want to miss any of that content. So please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm David Huppman, Israel Vera, TJ Hopkins. Gentlemen, what we do here at the Prime, my friends.
Bring the heat, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome.
We'll see you guys here tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. Let's go, baby.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.